For over 60 years, one of the most trusted tools in the fight against type 2 diabetes has been a quiet workhorse, metformin. Found in medicine cabinets across the globe, it has helped millions manage their blood sugar with relatively few side effects. But despite its widespread use, scientists have long puzzled over exactly how it works. The textbook answer has always pointed to the liver and the gut, organs that handle glucose production and digestion. But what if the real story is not in the belly or the bloodstream, but somewhere far more surprising? What if the secret to metformin's power lies not in the body's chemistry lab, but in the command center of the entire system, the brain? New research has uncovered a startling truth. Metformin does not just pass through the brain on its way to other organs. It actually speaks to the brain, and the brain listens, very closely. Deep within a tiny region known as the ventromedial hypothalamus, a protein called RAP1 acts like a switch. When metformin arrives, it flips that switch off, triggering a chain reaction that helps the body lower blood sugar. This discovery changes everything we thought we knew about how this decades-old drug functions. It is not just a metabolic janitor cleaning up excess glucose in the liver. It is more like a whisperer, sending quiet but powerful instructions from the brain that ripple through the entire body. The implications are profound. For years, scientists believed that high doses of metformin were needed to see results, and that those effects came from direct action in the liver, where glucose is produced, or in the intestines, where nutrients are absorbed. But this new study shows something different. When extremely small amounts of the drug are delivered directly into the brain, blood sugar drops dramatically, thousands of times less medication needed compared to what is typically swallowed in pill form. This means the brain is not just involved, it is exquisitely sensitive, responding to trace amounts that would do nothing if they stayed in the rest of the body. The brain, it turns out, may be the first and most important place where metformin gets to work. To understand how this works, researchers turned to laboratory mice engineered to lack RAP1 in that specific brain region. These mice were fed a high-fat diet to mimic the conditions of type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, elevated blood sugar, the whole cascade of metabolic dysfunction. When given standard doses of metformin, something unexpected happened: nothing. Their blood sugar stayed high. The drug had lost its power. But when other diabetes medications like insulin or GLP-1 agonists were administered, they still worked just fine. This was a crucial clue. It meant that metformin's magic depended on this one protein in the brain. Without it, the drug could not do its job, even if the liver and gut were ready and waiting. But why the brain? After all, the brain does not produce glucose the way the liver does. It does not digest food like the intestines. So what is its role in blood sugar control? The answer lies in the brain's role as the body's master regulator. The hypothalamus, though small, is like a central hub for maintaining balance, temperature, hunger, thirst, energy use. It constantly monitors what is happening in the body and makes adjustments to keep things stable. When blood sugar starts to rise, the brain can send signals to the liver to stop producing glucose, to muscles to absorb more sugar, or to fat cells to change how they store energy. It is not just reacting, it is orchestrating. Within this control center, a group of specialized nerve cells, known as SF1 neurons, appear to be the direct targets of metformin's message. When scientists looked at brain slices under a microscope and applied metformin, they saw these neurons light up with electrical activity, but only if RAP1 was present. When RAP1 was removed, the neurons stayed silent. This shows that RAP1 is not just along for the ride. It is essential. It acts like a gatekeeper, allowing metformin to activate these brain cells, which then send out signals to lower blood sugar throughout the body. It is a delicate dance of chemistry and electricity, happening in a space smaller than a grain of sand, yet influencing the health of an entire organism. What makes this finding even more exciting is the possibility of designing new treatments based on this brain pathway. Most diabetes drugs today do not target the brain. They work on organs like the pancreas, liver, or gut. But if the brain is this sensitive and this powerful in regulating glucose, why not aim there directly? Imagine a future where diabetes is managed not with high doses of medication that affect the whole body, but with precision therapies that gently nudge the brain's natural control systems. These could be drugs that mimic metformin's effect on RAP1, or even non-invasive techniques like focused ultrasound or neurostimulation that activate the same neurons. The goal would be the same, lower blood sugar, but with fewer side effects and greater efficiency. And the story does not end with blood sugar. Metformin has long been linked to other surprising benefits. People who take it seem to have lower rates of certain cancers, slower aging, and better brain health. Some studies suggest it may protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Could these effects also be tied to the brain? The researchers behind this new study think so. They now plan to investigate whether the same RAP1 pathway involved in glucose control also plays a role in aging, memory, and cognitive resilience. If so, metformin might not just be a diabetes drug, it could be a window into how the brain regulates not just metabolism, but longevity itself. This discovery also raises deeper questions about how we think about medicine. For decades, we have treated the body as a collection of separate organs, each with its own function and its own set of drugs. But the brain is connected to everything. It does not operate in isolation. When a drug like metformin enters the body, it does not choose one path. It travels through the bloodstream, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and interacts with multiple systems at once. The fact that such a small dose in the brain can have such a big effect suggests that we may have been overlooking the brain's role in chronic diseases all along. Maybe other medications we thought were working elsewhere were also whispering to the brain, and we just never noticed. It also challenges the idea that older drugs are fully understood. Metformin has been around since the 1950s. It is cheap, safe, and effective. But just because something has been used for a long time does not mean we know how it works. In fact, the longer a drug has been around, the more likely it is that we have only scratched the surface. This new research is a reminder that science is never finished. Even the most familiar tools can hold secrets, waiting for the right questions to be asked. For people living with type 2 diabetes, this discovery offers hope. It means that future treatments could be smarter, more targeted, and more in tune with the body's natural rhythms. It also means that understanding the brain's role in metabolism could help prevent diabetes in the first place. Lifestyle factors like diet, sleep, and stress all affect the hypothalamus. If we can learn how to support this brain region, we might be able to boost the body's own ability to regulate blood sugar, without medication at all. The journey of this discovery, from lab mice to brain slices to the realization that a common pill has been working through the mind all along, is a testament to the power of curiosity. It shows that asking simple questions, how does this really work, can lead to revolutionary answers. And it reminds us that the human body is not a machine with separate parts, but a deeply interconnected network, where a whisper in the brain can echo through the entire system. So the next time someone takes a metformin tablet, they might pause for a moment and think, this is not just a pill. It is a message. And the first place it wants to talk to is not the liver, not the gut, but the mind. The brain, long seen as separate from metabolism, may in fact be the hidden conductor of the body's metabolic symphony. And we are only now beginning to hear the music. If you found this deep dive into one of medicine's longest-standing mysteries fascinating, how a simple, decades-old pill like metformin might actually be working through the brain all along, then hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more stories where science meets the unexpected. This isn't just about diabetes, it's about how much we still have to learn about our own bodies, and how breakthroughs can come from asking the simplest question, how does this really work? Drop a comment below. Did you think the brain played a role in blood sugar control? And what other everyday medicines do you think might be doing more than we realize? Thanks for watching.